Mina, the 28-year-old artist, finds herself stranded in a vast virgin forest in Western Ireland. Seeking shelter, unknowingly, she becomes trapped with three strangers who are watched and stalked by mysterious creatures every night. There is a forest in the west that doesn't appear on any map, which attracts lost souls. Those who dare to enter can't find their way out again. John runs desperately, having entered that forest and trying to escape, but no matter how far he runs, he keeps circling back to the same place. To survive the night, he climbs a tree, but there's no safe hiding place. They will find you, they always find you, no matter how hard you try to flee. The beasts will capture you and devour you alive. Now, our protagonist Mina works in an animal shop. Her boss asks her to look after a macaw for a few days until it's delivered. Mina goes home and tells the macaw that it's the 15th anniversary of her mother's death today. She prepares to go out, transforming into someone else for reasons unknown. She goes to bars, giving fake names and professions to the guys she meets. The next day, they head to deliver the macaw. While Mina tries to escape the anniversary of her mother's death, the car starts to fail. She ventures further into the forest, losing signal, and the car eventually breaks down completely. Mina and the macaw venture into the forest for help, reaching a point of no return, believing someone lives there, but decide to return to the car. However, they can't see the road or the car. Mina runs desperately searching for the road but has become lost in the forest. She names the macaw Darwin, deciding if they're going to die together, at least it should have a name. She hears distant noises, sees nothing, believes someone passed by, then spots an old lady. She chases after her, and the old lady, Madeline, tells her to enter the house if she values her life. Madeline, Kira, and Daniel are all lost like her. Mina is scared, unsure of what's happening, and they ask her to stand in front of the glass, as the observers will be happy to see someone new. Every night, they are watched, and with dawn, the observers leave. They applaud Mina, happy to have someone new there. While Mina tries to escape with Darwin to her home, she prepares to leave in the darkness of the night, hearing things, and realizing there's no way out of that forest. Even reaching the top, there's no escape. She always returns to the same place. Madeline rescues her, while Daniel is a bit crazy. Who wouldn't be in such a suffering situation? Kira prepares to dance, as the observers like to see her delicate dance, but Mina remains confused. Although the others have gotten used to the place, Mina hasn't. During the day, the guys go into the forest to find supplies. Kira tells Mina that her husband, John, is also there but hasn't returned yet. He was the guy we saw at the beginning. Kira believes her husband will come back and shows Mina the burrows in the forest where the observers go during the day. Kira has been locked up for about 5 months. The rules are never to turn your back on the mirror, never open the door in the dark, and never go near the burrow, as the observers see everything. Mina touches the glass, hoping to see or hear something on the other side, but nothing happens. Daniel, who has been there for over 8 months, tells her about Madeline, intense but the one who has suffered the most and been there the longest. Mina convinces the adventurous Daniel to check a burrow, both curious and skeptical of Madeline. They manage to touch the bottom and find various objects down there. Let's observe everything Mina finds in this mine of lost objects. They pull out different items, but then they hear strange noises. It's the observers coming after them. They manage to pull Mina out safely, but she doesn't tell Madeline about what she saw below. They find a camera installed outside to see the observers, but no one looks at the camera. They spot someone outside, but the observers create illusions for people. Kira sees John, but Madeline tells her that it's not really him. The observers deceive and use tricks. She asks a question only the real John would know, and he responds, "I don't know." He begs to be let in because he's badly injured, and Kira asks him to bring his face closer to the camera. The observers immediately take him away. Was it an hallucination or the real John? The observers break the mirror, and Madeline returns all the objects to the burrow, warning Mina not to break any more rules because they see everything and get angry when rules are broken. Mina remembers her mother and sister. She never followed the rules, and because of her, her mother died in an accident caused by her tantrum. In the forest, Mina dedicates herself to drawing, sketching different points and locations where there's no way out. Kira goes out desperately to search for John and wants to be with her husband, but Daniel ties up Madeline because he refuses to follow her rules. He leaves Mina and Madeline outside in the darkness of night. The rule is never to open the door at night, so they hide, hoping not to be seen. Daniel and Kira stand at the glass to be seen, but the rule is that everyone must be inside. When they see only 2 people inside, they panic and start searching outside for the missing persons. All the observers are present, the guardians of darkness. Mina and Madeline beg Daniel again to open the door. Mina confesses that her bad behavior caused her mother's death and that she cannot bear the guilt of others' deaths. Madeline confesses that she is there because of her own choices. She was a teacher who researched the place. When she crossed the forest, she saw herself, not a perfect replica, but longer and twisted. The observers are fairies that study people to become them, copying their forms and becoming them. The observers are about to enter, but they find a secret door, and everyone manages to enter before the observers can enter the house and capture them. They take refuge in that place, which is much better than the house, better equipped with the necessary supplies to survive in the forest. There's even a competitor, but obviously, there's no internet. However, there are different videos from the professor. He was the one researching the observers, they watched him all the time and started to resemble him. Their fingers began to look like his. He built the bunker as his refuge until his death. One day, a little girl with red hair appeared to him. She looked innocent, but nothing is as it seems in that place. One day, he let one in, a tall, slender figure, just like the observers. They were trapped down there for 300 days. So, he planned to leave the bunker with 2 bullets, one for the observer and one for himself. Where the birds leave the forest, there's a boat to escape. Whoever manages to escape should go to the professor's office and destroy all the information about that forest. The professor did as he said and then shot himself. Kira is willing to take care of Daniel, so on the last night, they start dancing, planning to escape the next day. Daniel's father was an alcoholic, so one day he escaped from it all. Kira promises him that if they get out of there, she wants him to stay with her so she can take care of him. The day has come to finally escape from that place and leave the forest behind. They reach point 34 and set Darwin free, so now they just have to follow him. As the birds find freedom, there was a time when the human and the mystical separated, and the mystical was locked in a tomb, losing its wings and powers. Darkness catches up with them, and the observers are after them. They almost manage to escape, and the 4 are happy to have found the boat. However, the observers deceive Daniel, making him think he's rescuing John, but it's an illusion, and they take possession of Daniel, turning him into one of them. Now, Daniel becomes just another observer. However, the girls escape unharmed and finally see the sunlight in the city. Darwin guided them to the path of freedom, and now they are safe and sound. Mina takes on the task of going to the university to see everything Professor Boris left behind and to destroy it once and for all so that no one else dies in that horrible place. Mina still vividly remembers the accident and what happened to her mother. It's the storm that must arrive day by day. Mina manages to enter Professor Boris's office and discovers more research he found about fairies and humans living together and even reproducing. Mina discovers that Madeline isn't who she says she is, so she goes to visit Kira immediately. Madeline turns out to be the professor's wife, and she passed away years ago. Madeline is actually an observer who managed to become human by taking their form and emerging into the light. She has been clever and took Kira's form. Now the observers want Mina's body and to turn her into one of them. Madeline kept them as pets, studying them. They were her experiment to integrate among humans. Thanks to Mina, she managed to escape and finally leave that forest. Madeline took Mina's form, so now there will be a struggle between them. The true name is Eroka, who wants to live among humans. The reason she can walk in the daylight is that she is also part human. There's hatred, love, and forgiveness within that body, so now they are a species that also deserves love. Kira emerged unharmed from everything and is still human, while Mina tells her sister about a red-haired girl who watches her among the people. The sisters finally make peace, and Mina learns to live with the presence of others.